Well, hi YouTube, I hope you enjoyed about the show today. Today is the new Traptrix and Dogmatika deck profile for post-rise doors 7th of the 9th 2020. Now this deck works, it's a stun deck pretty much. It is pretty much a stun deck, or control deck you could say, in most ways. It's mainly won by stun, and then you basically win by stun most of the time, then you kill the opponent on the next turn. So you got the Dogmatika engine, which is quite small actually. So you got three Dogmatika enters of the Vetus. Okay, this is just all Dogmatika cards. All of them pretty much say, oh, there's an extra monster, let me just special summon that. Oh, that's excellent, let me just special summon that. And you can just do your search, but you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck rest of the turn. So you better do your extra deck first, which is okay, because this deck doesn't use its extra deck very much. The idea of this deck is to get Sarah and use your traps on your opponent's turn, and then kind of set up to make you exceed on your opponent's, and kind of use the Xyz on the opponent's turn. You sort of play more on the opponent's turn, so that's kind of cool and kind of unique, I guess, which is good. This is just a 1500 beta. Most time it gets Dogmatika cards, which is good. There are 6 targets for this, so which is good. I mean 4 targets for this, which is good. Yep. We got Dogmatika Maximus. Maximus can just banish one fusion, synchron, exceed, or link monster. Okay. They can take 2 cards from your extra deck and then take 2 cards opponent's extra deck. So, but you only play one because you can search it and people could counter it. So it's kind of like a bit of a risk wins a war with this card. If the opponent's not smart, you can not counter it. But if the opponent's smart, they probably will counter it quite easily, which is a shame. Next is Dogmatika duelist. This is your hand trap of your deck. One you only hand traps. That's basically, this is kind of like a more aggressive effect. You can just special summon and they can just negate a monster on the opponent's side of the field, and then this can be more aggressive because it can attack and gain 500 for each time, so you can get stronger each turn, which is really good and really handy. And then negation just is really good in general, and it's just you can special summon any time with the extra deck monster, which is really good and really handy, which is good. Next is Formula XC. Basically this card comes to level 4 for you, and anytime you do summon a Traptrix, this comes to level 4, and then basically you can summon your Traptrix monsters from you can summon your Xyz, then set for your next turn and have played for the next turn, which is good. Most of the time you might have most of the time you might have this hand and want to play and actually have advantage with this card, which is good about this card. But you must play 3, which is really annoying, because if you end up, what happens is you could end up drawing 2 and have 1 left, or you can end up having all 3. I had it when I draw 2 and have 1 left in my deck, so that's not too bad. But you want it in your hand with 1 of it. Next is now Traptrix. So we've got Traptrix, Gem Lister. It's just a normal summon at the end of the day, and you can get traps, set traps, but that effect doesn't come up. You want to just use it as just another name, which is good. They're all level 4, so you just want to use it as another name, which is good, which is cute. Then you play 2 Traptrix Amelia. This is just another trap one. You can play 8 traps in your hand. You just use another name. Sometimes you want traps in your hand. It's a good beat, so it is one of your beaters off your deck if you need it to be, which is good. We've got Traptrix Amelia Diamiscus. Okay, and this just gets Traptrix from your graveyard, which is good, Just gets the monster back you need, which is good. And then you can make a rank 4 with it, which is good. Sometimes you get a Traptrix back with it, which is good. So then we've got Traptrix Mandela Magnetus. Basically, this is just your rotor of the Traptrix monsters, and you can do the spell and trap reset them and stuff, which is good, which is cute. But you're mainly using it for the search, which is good. But most of the time, you don't want too many Traptrix in your hand, because they are technically just normal summons at the end of the day, and they can be a bit. This is alright, just to get another search, which is good. And then we got Traptrix for Emilio. It just gets you trap holes, which is there are about 5 different targets in this deck, which is good. 4 different targets, which is good. And you play it as a free because you can search Traptrix, and then you can search for your opponent's turn to use the traps, which is good, which is cute. and it's the best way. And you can then also when it's got to be fresh summon, you can destroy a Traptrix card, which is good, which is cool. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this can reset trap holes, which is good also. Till the end phase. So and this can just keep, and this one can destroy them. Next one is Traptrix Dogmatika. This just is, they're all unaffected by traps or Traptrix, and if this one it adds trap. If you just add one or special, you can special summon Traptrix X. You never use this one really. You only use it because of the name. If it's the only ones you have in your hand, you're lucky you would use it just for the name, which is good, which is cool, I guess. But it's not really that good, so you've just used it for no name, which is a shame. But there's two of it, but it's a shame. Yeah, that's the monster line, which is trying to one. Only 7 spells and 11 traps. So there is this is far sort of card. It's the Madeira Servant, and if you're wondering what that is his real name, yeah. So this is basically the Dogmatika Searcher. So it just searches any Dogmatika spell and monster, all the fusion card for them. But you can send one card from your extra deck, and then so basically you can pop a card or get another road to search, or sometimes get 2 pops with this card. So you can get you can get 1 pop with it, but you can send a different target, which is cool, which we'll show you later. You can't summon anything else from the extra deck. So I'm usually use this just the last bit as making your board look good and amazing, which is good. Yep. Then we got 3 core by because this deck really hates hand traps. It does, because look, we got to stop the ice bottom because this deck does quite a bit of searching. Actually, it's quite a bit of searching in this deck, which is really annoying. And doing not bad. There's quite a lot of searching in this too with this deck, and particularly it's really annoying with this deck, which is really annoying, which is a shame, but 3 core bars really good. Yep. Then we got 1 upstart just to get that extra draw, just because the 40 card deck makes 39. Doesn't care about opponent's life points. You usually don't finish your opponent. You don't usually do OTKs in this deck. You usually control them and then outgrind them really, and force them out to lose really quickly. Now it's the trap lineup. Yep. Then we got Dogmatika Punisher. This is excellent with Traptrix Sarah. Yep, and just pops a card and you only one because you don't see it too often to get more traps. I want to play more colors, but I don't need it to, which is good, which is a good thing. Next is a free infinite impermanence, just a negation, just a good hand trap, and it's excellent with Traptrix Sarah if you actually have it set with it, so you can actually get a Traptrix and then pop another card, which is good, which is cool, which is nice, which is good. Next is Shadow Skidos. This just summons a Shadow monster from the extra deck. Yep, and we usually sell Shadow Window from this if we need the action if we need to control the game even more by floodgate really. And plus you can just send a card, which is good, This is the way I get around Red Dragon monster, which is good. Next is now the Trap Hole. So we've got Traptrix Hole Nightmare, just basically stops any special summon monster. Yep, and then he destroys it. Yep, so another good form of negation. Quite good. It's good. You can search for it, which is good, which is cute. Then we got Gravekeeper's Trap Hole. This just sends to the grave, and then we can stop grave effects or cards in your hand, and then opponent lose 2 power. So this time can be in time to win your games, which is good. Yep. And then we got Time Space Trap Hole, basically to stop any Pendulum deck or to stop any mass extra deck spam and stuff like that, which is good. And you have to pay 1,000 points, which is good. At the end of the day, this card's pretty handy, which is good. Yep. Then Floodgate Trap. I know this is quite funny. It's called Floodgate Trap, but it's not real floodgate. So, and this can just set a monster face down, which is good, which is most of the time good, and it can set you up next turn, which is good. Now the extra. First up, the fusion, which are quite a lot. So there's El Shadow Window, just to be a floodgate, just to stop your opponent's monsters be special summon. And this card's very easy in opponent's summon or opponent's turn. You want to get this out most of the time. Then we got El Shadow Okano, just to send to the graveyard, just to get Skittle to the hand, and then discard any other cards, which is good most of the time, which is good. And then we got Okalan Ash Magician, Ash Dragon. So this is just another card you can just send with the search card or with Maximum, just so you can get the search with, which is good, which is most of the time you need to, because You set, because always if you have just one, you need two, because you're always going to send it off, which is good. I see some builds even play 3 of us, but 2 is the best. So I think this is good. Yeah. Then we got 3 Everton Nefs. Just to pop cards from the extra deck, which is good, and you can just pop any card you need to, which is good, which is cool. And then we got Fossil Warrior Skull Knight. This just pops another monster if you need to, which is good. You would never summon this one, but you would just use it as a fossil popper. We'll just use it as a popper, which is good, And then we got the new Traptrix for Faithia. It's just basically summons a Traptrix from your graveyard, now a plant from your graveyard, which is good, and you can just keep. And this card is one of your standards. You sometimes use this and you summon Traptrix and you pop another card. So you can use it to go in second, but most of the time you just use this to stand a bit more. And then we've got Traptrix and Freesia, just to send any trap off your deck. It's a good beauty 2500, which is good, which is cute, which most of the time is handy for this deck, which is good. Then we've got Fist World, a card you always want to somehow end on if you're going against graveyard deck and do attach and stop graveyard effects, which is good. You can on it very often with the deck, which is good. Then we've got 3 Traptrix Sarah, just to set traps ready for your next turn, or just to set up for your next turn really. And Traptrix are good at doing that, and with your traps are pretty good at resetting them the traps for next turn, which is good. Then we've got Bounce off the OTK potential. If we need it, you can go first. You can make it OTK really easy, which is good, which is cool. Then we got, and then it's just good in general. Then the final card is SS Talker. This is just the best card for OTKs for days. You can do OTKs easily. You don't need this, but when you do, it's very good and very helpful, which is good, which is cool, because you can't spawn to it and just gains more attack, which is good. Most of the time, it's good. So, that's the new Traptrix Dogmatika deck list. I hope you enjoyed it today, and subscribe and watch all. Hopefully, do better this week. Hope you subscribe and watch all. I'll be on holiday in the next couple of weeks, so not next week, but the week after I'll be on holiday. So don't expect many videos in a couple of weeks. Okay, so I mean, next week we are going, but next week I hope you subscribe and watch all, wash hands, keep safe and all that stuff. We're going up a bit, so hopefully things are still alright. Hope you subscribe and watch all, and see you all next time. Goodbye.